Alright, hello, this is a new Cyber Dalek 2005 video. I thought today I would show a tier list of my favourite TARDIS console rooms. TARDIS has changed a lot over the years, so I decided I'd show off my favourite ones. So yeah, let's start. And let's start with the William Hartnell console room, first appearing in, what's the story called? Hang on. An Unearthly Child. And last appearing some point in the Patrick Troughton era. In the Troughton era they did change sort of console room, they changed the layout of the room, but it is quite hard to tell due to the fact I think it did happen in a missing episode. So yeah, but in terms of the console room, I think it's actually pretty good. If you've seen my Minecraft series on YouTube, you'll have noticed that this is the TARDIS console room I am using from now on, mostly because I like the look of it. I like the minimalist look of the original console room, and with the weird paper wall in the background, because they of course couldn't afford to use all the walls. They couldn't afford to have all the walls as plastic, so they decided to make one of them paper because it was cheaper. But you can really tell. Alright, up next on this list is the TARDIS console room from the Time Monster. This is pretty famous. They had the round halls made of salad bowls, and yeah, I think it's one of the first TARDIS console rooms we've seen in the 70s, and I like it more than most people, but I'm still not a big fan of it. It is a bit strange, especially considering the TARDIS console room we get later on in the Pertwee era I think is actually brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to put this in the bad list, just because it's not the greatest. It's not awful, it's not in the no territory. No, I'm going to move up to meh. It's not awful, I just don't think it's in the two top tiers. Right, up next, my favourite 70s TARDIS console room. Actually no, second favourite 70s TARDIS console room. It's the Three Doctors console room, which I just love the design of. It's really kind of open plan. Well, not open plan, but quite open, and I do think it is the best white TARDIS console we got in the 70s. I know we get the wooden one later, which is my favourite 70s console room, but appeared in the Three Doctors and the Three Doctors only. It's a shame that we couldn't see this console room throughout the entire 70s, because I think it is brilliant. Right, up next we have the first Tom Baker console room, which first appeared in, I know it's photos from Pyramids of Mars, so we'll say it's from Pyramids of Mars up to the Hand of Fear, which no, not Hand of Fear. Oh, when does the wooden one first appear? I can't remember. Alright, so I think this console room is okay, but in meh. It is kind of the generic white one. If anyone thinks of a kind of 70s TARDIS, this is usually the one they're thinking of. So yeah, I think it's very minimalist, and I do like the roundels. I think they finally perfected the roundels after the strange paper ones in the Hartnell TARDIS and the salad bowl ones in the Pertwee TARDIS. I think this one is it's an alright default TARDIS. But up next, going into the excellent column, is the secondary TARDIS console room, first appearing as a result of them needing a secondary console room. If you're wondering why I'm moving, I'm getting my phone out to room. So yeah, I think it's a really good TARDIS. I do think it works well, especially with the patterning on the coloured roundels being like stained glass windows. It is the best TARDIS of the 70s, and I do wish it had become the new default. It is a shame these sets succumb to wood rot, which is why, transition, we have this one. I think this is the Peter Davison one, because Tom Baker did use it for his last couple of series, but Peter Davison used it in his first two series I think actually, and it's okay. I don't like the look of the console. I'm not a fan of the grey body with the pink time rotor. I just think it looks okay, but I prefer it with Peter Davison actually than I do with Tom Baker. I don't know why, little personal thing, but it's going to go in the meh column, I think. Now, the 80s console, the first appearing in the Five Doctors, and then kind of kept appearing until the end of the classic series. I know there was a planned Series 26 console, but it's not on this list. So yeah, this might be my favourite, I think, out of all the 80s ones. I love the look of the console, love the look of the room. I think every Doctor who's used it, I think, works with it. It is brilliant, and this room was used for the Patrick Troughton TARDIS in the Two Doctors, but they put this console in that room. So yeah. And up next, Paul McGann's TARDIS, the American one. I'm not that big of a fan of it, let's say. I do think it's cool in some shots, and I think in other shots it looks a bit, I don't know, I'm not a fan of the ceiling being the big monitor of the sky. I'm not a fan of the weird drawers all full of gold. I think it works okay, full of candles and clocks. I think it's definitely an American TARDIS console room, to say the least. It is like a big library. I think, yeah, it's okay. I think Paul McGann works well with it, but I don't think it's that good a console room. Anyway, up next, John Hurt's TARDIS, which is of course going straight to excellent, as in my opinion it is probably the second best new series console room. It is really good. It is basically the David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston console room, but with a classic series vibe, which I think works very well for it. And I think it would work really well with Paul McGann, Christopher Eccleston. I think those two Doctors would have worked really well with this one. And now, they've put on this list I found, they put the Tennant one in twice. So I'm only going to grade one. I'm going to grade this image because it's better. And I think this is pretty good actually. I've gone up and down on my opinion on this one. I don't quite like the thought of it being kind of really organic and correlated. But you know, it looks pretty good. I think it works better with Eccleston with the green lighting than it does with Tennant when it's kind of lit with white light. So yeah. And next, the appearing in the 11th Hour and last appearing in Angels Take Manhattan is the Matt Smith TARDIS, which might be one of my favourites. Yeah, it probably is one of my favourites actually. I really like the how big it is, probably being the biggest console room we've ever had. But you know, I just think there are others that are better that will take the excellent spot. And we have next the second Matt Smith one, the Blue Light Space Room, which is okay. It feels a bit minimalist, especially with the console that comes after being the one that it is. I think it works well. I do like the blue light in the middle, but it's alright for what it is. It's alright for what it is, that's a good one. But next we have what might possibly be the best TARDIS console room of all time, the Peter Capaldi console room, which I wish Jodie had kept. I wish this was the default console room from now on. I just love it. I love the colouring, I love the bookshelves, I love the chalkboards, I love everything about it, and it is soul destroying seeing it blown up at the end of Twice Upon a Time. I just think it works so well. I love everything about this console room. It is perfect. Yeah, I think this could be described as perfect. I love the way Capaldi kind of plays his guitar in there, coming up and down the stairs. Yeah, perfect, absolutely perfect. And my least favourite console room, the Jodie Whittaker room. I think this room is too small and too cluttered. The crystals coming out the ground just feel like an unnecessary addition to what is, in my opinion, a very cluttered console room. Apparently it's quite difficult to film as well due to the amount of stuff in it. Because of course there's the weird table, there's the awful looking console by the way, can't stand it. Yeah, I think it's better in what's it called? The second Dalek story. It's how bad the Jodie Whittaker era is, people. I can't remember what it's called. There's an episode we see it and it's lit with a blue light. I think it looks much nicer, but it's still too much. I think if you took the claw arms out, maybe I'd have a different opinion, but no, I think it is just too much. Yeah, so that's my opinion on the TARDIS console rooms of Doctor Who. I know I'm missing some. I know I could put the leaked images in of the new Tennant console room, Could talk about the master console rooms, but I think I'll save those for a different video. I could talk about some of the concept rooms we've seen, like in the Virgin New Adventure novels we see a concrete console room, which is like the secondary one, but it's made of stone and concrete and all that, and it's an interesting concept TARDIS room. I think it'd be really nice to see it in live action. Yeah, and we see other stuff like I have seen the leaked videos of the new TARDIS room. I won't be putting them in this video, I don't want it taken down, but yeah, I do love the TARDIS, and I think it is one of the coolest sci-fi spaceships. Yeah, beats the Millennium Falcon easily. Yeah, so thank you for watching the video, guys. I will upload a new one soon, and goodbye.